Hey everyone, Zach here. Hope you're having an amazing day. I want to share with you what we're doing here at MLM Rebels. It's a really exciting new piece to the program that we're putting in, and just want to share this with you because I think hopefully this can inspire you in some various ways. And number two, there's actually a way for you to potentially participate in what I'm talking about here today, and it's going to be thing I think we've ever done or ever put together, and it's a long time coming, but it's a lot of stinking work, so I'm going to kind of share this with you. So the bottom line is this. I'm going to bottom line and I'm going to backtrack and give you some context as to why we're doing this. So the bottom line is that we are actually going to generate and give applicants, so team applicants, people that can become representatives. We're going to generate these leads, generate these applicants, and give them to our downline, give them to our team. This is something that we do not do right now. Okay, we give them to like really high quality people, amazing people on the team. If we don't want to handle them or something like that, we'll pass them down in that case, but not at a massive scale. Okay, there's a lot of crazy traps that come with doing something like this, and many people have tried, many people have failed. A couple people a long time ago, 20, 30 years ago, they pulled it off, and they built massive organizations. So there's lots of ways this can go really bad, but the reason that we've been very careful and not doing this too soon is because we wanted to make sure what are the ways this can go bad, and let's not do them, right? And so that's what we're going to be doing. Now, at some point in the future, we will, talk about this for other companies. We will do that. Something I'm very excited about doing, but I don't know if that's going to be in 3 months from now or a year from now. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So for the time being, it's going to only be for people in our company, in our downline. So let me kind of share with you why this is so special, where this is going to come from, and how it's going to work. So the first thing is, what's the point, right? Well, in network marketing, obviously the goal is to get people to be sponsoring new reps. That's obvious, right? We're all in for that. Now at MLM Rebels, the thing that we do is getting people to build teams and sponsor reps without having to, do any of the stupid old school stuff that we talk about, right? Stalking people offline and online, generating your own prospects, none of that stuff. We don't want to be doing any of that. The biggest waste of time in network marketing is prospecting. Contrary to what network marketers tell you to do, it's the biggest waste of time in all of network marketing is finding people that are interested. So at the very basic level at Rebels, what we do is help you automate all the prospecting. So the very most basic level is generating what we call a leveraged system. Okay, so step number one is a leveraged system. Now leveraged means that the prospecting process is automated, so you no longer have to do that. When this is the case, what happens is every, let's say day, for the sake of conversation, every day you receive leads or applicants that your system generated. So you did upfront work one time to generate those leads or applicants, and they come to you on a daily basis, and then you call them, speak to them about your opportunity, and potentially enroll them. That's a leverage system. Now this is most network marketers' biggest dream, because that means that they never again have to find people that are interested. They come to them, they just simply call them. Now the bottleneck in this system is obvious. It's the rep. It's you, it's me needing to have a conversation and close that person. So the second thing that we do is build a fully automated system. Now this is fully automated from the time they see the ad all the way to the time they enroll. Okay, this is a fully automated system. Now this works incredibly well. Now the upside is that it's fully automated and you don't have to be there for it to have an enrollment take place. That's how we did a lot of the traveling that we did because of this. Now the downside of an automated system is that it takes a lot of time to get right, because on the phone, when you're talking to someone on the phone, you can make up for a lot of mistakes that happened in the marketing beforehand, right? And you can help someone, you can overcome their specific objections and help them make a decision that's right for them specifically, because it's you talking to them specifically. In an automated system, you're not talking to them specifically, like human to human. So you can't overcome their specific objections. So an automated system has to be incredibly robust at handling the multitude of objections that they could come up with before they have them. That's how an automated system actually works. So it is a big undertaking, but it's very possible, and it does work, and we do it, and we do teach people how to do it. However, most network marketers they are ecstatic, I tried to make a star, if they just have a leverage system. This makes them ecstatic. All right. So when someone gets into MLM Rebels, here's what happens. The first thing that happens, I'll write this in black. The first thing that happens is they get started, and we have a warm market system. Okay, so do they have to do it? Absolutely not. We don't necessarily believe in having your business be stuck to the warm market. However, some people do want to utilize their warm market. Fine, right? So we have 2 warm market systems that we've developed. They're all online based, but they are allowing them to take advantage of that low-hanging fruit in the warm market. They can completely skip that if they want, but they can use it if they want. That's step number 1. Step number 2, as of right now, is to build what we call the Rebels mainframe. Now, the Rebels mainframe shows people how to use a leveraged system, leveraged system, and the automated system. Now, this is what we call our 80% done for you system. 80% done for you. So we've built this system for ourselves, right? And for Rebels internally, and we give them that system, but they got to do an estimated 20% of the work to actually make this mainframe operate for them. Now, that's a very small amount of work, but if someone comes in with no experience, what can happen is not that it takes a massive amount, it's that people get stuck in the curriculum. They get stuck in training mode, and they think they're making progress when they're training or learning, and that's not true. They're making progress when they're sponsoring people, when they're selling product. That's when they are making progress. So what the downfall of any system in network marketing, old school or new school, is that people get stuck in training. They get stuck in curriculum, and they think they're making progress when in reality they're not. So this should only take a week or 2 or 3, okay? Some people can drag it on for a super long time. Now, even the people that don't drag it on, what they find is they're adjusting 2 things. Because in the beginning, they're not doing the automated system, because that is, again, going to take them a little bit. So in the beginning, they're just focused on the leverage system. So in the beginning, what they're doing is they're constantly needing to adjust their marketing in their 20% and their closing, because they're talking on the phone to these people. So trying to fix 2 things at once, and it's hard for most people to master 2 skills that they don't currently know. So what we want to do is basically take care of 100% of the marketing, have them just focus on the closing. Once they're good at the closing, then we come and have them do the marketing. Now, the only way we can do that is if we literally have a way to do 100% of the marketing, okay, where they literally have 0 in the beginning. Now, at the end, we do want them using the mainframe because we want them to have their own face, their own marketing, so that they can be independent, like fully independent in case something ever happened to Rebels. But in the beginning, we want them closing, like now, like right away. So that's the old way, or this is the way that it currently works. Now, we have one thing, it's called a private affiliate program. It's a very small group of people that have access to a very special version of this that takes this 20% down to like 5%. But we want to do one step better. So here's the way that we're looking at it going forward. Number 1 is the warm market. Number 2 is the lead wheel. Lead wheel. Now, lead wheel is the horrible internal term that we have for it right now. We'll think of something sexier. Essentially, this is a lead wheel. This is like a pie chart, okay? So what this means is that, let's say you get started today, the first thing we'll have you do is do your warm market if you want to utilize it. If you don't want to utilize it, that's fine, but if you do that first. Low-hanging fruit, good easy growth, take advantage of it. The second thing we're going to have you do is jump into the lead wheel. What that means is, rather than building any marketing system, you're going to just say, hey Rebels, I want 10 applicants this week. What'll happen is Rebels will generate those 10 applicants and just give them to you at cost. I'll tell you about the cost in a second. It's a little over that, but basically at cost. All right. So we'll generate the applicants for you, and boom, there you go. You got the applicants. Now call them. So all you have to do is focus on closing. That's literally it. So 100% of your focus is on closing and getting better at that. And we have obviously incredible training in that regard. So all you gotta do is focus there. Once you're good at closing, you'll keep doing the lead wheel, but you'll also now start building your 80% mainframe, because we want you independent from us. Again, because in case you decide to leave for some reason or Rebels goes away, we want to add value to you long term. So I don't want you to be completely dependent on us generating leads for you. So we're going to have you develop your own mainframe, which is your marketing system, in which you'll be in control of the marketing and the closing. Now, as part of this mainframe, this will also include the automated system, so that's where that would come in. All right. So this mainframe is where your face is going to be on the marketing. You will start developing a brand for the very first time. So once again, you have an asset that you're creating that you have forever. All right. So, and by the way, if you confuse what I meant that just there, a brand image is an asset for you. Okay. So your name being out there in the world is an asset in case something ever happens to the MLM company that you're a part of, or happens to Rebels, etc. So that's what I mean by that. Okay, so this is the way that we're working on making it work. So essentially what would happen is, we generate 1,000 applicants as Rebels, and you say, okay, I want this big, I want this piece of the pie right here, whatever this piece is. I want 50 applicants this week. Okay, so you want 50 applicants. So fantastic. We just send you 50 applicants on day number 2, because day number 1 you did your low-hanging fruit. Day number 2, you're getting 50 applicants. Never have to generate a prospect again in your entire life. All you're doing is focused on closing people that are already interested in the business. Now, there is 2 things about this to make this work. The first one is, what do we want to do? Right here, blue. First one is traffic. So traffic is the first way to make, or the first thing we need to do to make this work. The second one is distribution. Distribution of leads. So, okay, if you've ever purchased MLM leads before, or you bought leads for anything before, like let's say doesn't matter, real estate, insurance, anything, there's lead brokers out there for almost everything. Okay, most everything like that really, really sucks. And no knock on any particular company, not at all. It's just a matter of the way they generate those leads usually blows. It's usually generating fairly low quality leads from fairly low quality sources for fairly low quality traffic. They don't really qualify them, but they give them just enough to opt in, and then they sell the leads 4 or 5 times, and they basically are all terrible. All right, that's just the way that this is. I'm not talking about that at all right now. What I'm talking about is this. We have a really, really good leverage system for Rebels internally, and it's actually a part of the mainframe. We call it the blueprint, okay? We call it the blueprint. What this is, at its core, is a 41-page sales letter. Sales letter. Now this, at the end of the blueprint, produces an applicant. So someone comes from a traffic source, so an ad. They go to the blueprint, they read 41 pages. Then there's an application. Once the application is generated, a strategist would call them. Okay, so this happens at Rebels internally. This also happens in our mainframe. This is one of our leverage systems. So this is our best leverage system. So we generate traffic from tier 1 sources. Okay? FB, IG, YouTube, Google. Okay, tier 1 sources. These are tier 1 ad networks. This is no joke. We run it straight to a blueprint, highly qualified traffic, targeted traffic, going to a blueprint that generates a highly qualified applicant. That's where this is coming from. So this is not some cheap, some cheap stuff here. This is like the highest level you could possibly get. So we generate those and then distribute them to the people that want to utilize them. Now, the obvious 2 things that would prevent someone from doing this is traffic and distribution. Generating enough quality traffic to make as much as we need. Now, traffic is something that, obviously, we'll take care of, right? We're going to take care of that traffic. But think about this. Think about running an ad budget on these sources for $100,000 a week. This is a lot. Now, we came from the agency world. To hire an agency to do this is $5, $10, $20,000 a month. Easy. So to do this for the cost I'm about to talk about is going to be like insanity, but I'm going to explain how this is going to work from a financial perspective for you and for us. So traffic is one thing. The second one is distribution. If everyone spent the exact same amount of money, it'd be really easy. So if everyone spent $1,000 a week, then we could just literally divide it by however many people there were, and just, by how many people there were, by how much money they spent, and it's an easy division thing. That's not the way the world works. Some people will spend a ton, some people will spend barely anything. So having, I guess the word would be algorithms on the distribution of these leads is the other aspect. Now, I can quarterback this myself. I can quarterback it. Doesn't mean I can do it all. I can quarterback it. I have no idea what to do there. So what we've been needing to do this whole time is making sure that we can get the right people in place to run the traffic and then protect ourselves when things get shut down. Because if Rebels gets our ad account shut down, that hurts us only. If we've got 500 people relying on us for their traffic and we get an account shut down and it's only under one account, that affects 500 people. So we need to develop the traffic and then diversify and protect it. So that's one piece. Now I can quarterback this. Doesn't mean I can do it all, but I can quarterback it. But we still need a lot of really expensive and amazing people in place for this. The distribution, I have no idea what I'm doing, so we needed the right person. Good news. We have the right people for both. It's just a matter of putting it all together. So this equation will be solved at best within 10 days. More like probably 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, so call it 2 to 4 weeks. I'm the one that wants to get everything done immediately. Thankfully, we've got a partner that understands that sometimes faster isn't always better, and it's got to be high quality from the very beginning. So, a couple things. Number one, I just want to share with you what we're doing, and maybe this inspires you in some way. And number two is if you actually want to participate in this, I'll explain that. Reverse the process here. I'll just do it real quick. Remind me, participation. Reverse the process simply means instead of focusing on marketing, you're focusing on closing, getting people in the business, and then you're getting good at marketing. Okay, that's what that means, because I would have annoyed me if I left it there. So, participation. If you actually want to participate in this is what we're thinking, and then I'll go over the financials about how this is actually going to work. So if you wanted to participate, what we want to do is have this out to everyone on our team, in our own downline. That's what we're aiming for. Now, obviously, these things have to be buttoned up perfect before that's the case, because if you got thousands of people doing this, and you got a break in here, it's going to show itself really fast and sink the ship. So we don't want that. So in the beginning, we're going to start with a small group of people. I'm thinking 50. Okay, so 50 or less. Now, there's way more people that'll be interested, so it'll be 50. 25 to 50, we got to think of the cap. But regardless, 25 to 50 people. Reason why is because no matter what they do, we can manhandle the problem if we need to. So even if one of our systems break, we can just basically brute force it into working again and fix the system. If there's 1,000 people from day one and the system breaks, you can't manhandle that. So we want to be able to do that, get the system dialed in, and then open it up. All right. So obviously the people that start at the beginning, they're going to get the most reward because they'll be doing it the longest, but everyone will get a benefit once this is fully launched. So when I say 2 to 4 weeks, I mean 2 to 4 weeks until the first 50 can participate. After that, we have to get everything dialed in. So if you want to participate, I'm going to tell you how here in a second, but first I'm going to go over the financials. So it would look like this. It's going to come with the Rebels recruiting system. So if someone is a part of Rebels recruiting system already, they're just going to have access to this. There's a small fee, but I'll tell you what it is. They're just going to have access to this. When someone joins Rebels recruiting system, they're going to have access to this. This is the only difference. We're going to charge. We think we're going to charge it. This is the lower one, but this is what I think we're going to go with. Is $97 a month, so $100 a month, and that would basically allow you access to the lead wheel. So whether you want 2 applicants that week, or 50 applicants that week, or 100 applicants that week, it's $100 management fee or access fee, whatever. That's it. All right. So that's freaking mind-blowing, by the way, because I've already told you what it takes to hire an agency to do this kind of stuff. Between $5 and 20 grand a month easy. You're going to get tier 1 ad management and funnel management for the exact offer that you're selling and building a network marketing team with. It's mind-blowing. For $100 a month, it's like crazy. Now, clearly that doesn't work financially for us unless we have a lot of people doing it. So here's what we're doing. We know in the beginning we're going to probably take a loss on this. Okay, it is what it is. We're okay with that because we're going to take more growth in the back end. So that's where we're going to develop our profits. This is not going to be a profit-generating system for Rebels. We're taking a loss in the beginning. We know that, and the back end will bring us profit. Now, the goal is to not lose money on this front end. So, in somewhere in there, once there's a certain number of people, we don't actually know the full cost, we'll break even. So, with those $97 payments, that will eventually pay for this thing to run. So, allow us to pay for all the agencies that need to be in place, all the people that put this together, all of that stuff. That's the goal of this from a very base level perspective, is having those $100 payments cover the cost of it at the very least. If it gets big enough, eventually this could be a profit center for Rebels. What we would do with it then is basically take that money, turn it around, and make the system more robust and more unbreakable. And what we do someday is produce this for other companies. So for those of you that are having that question, is this going to be for other companies? The answer is yes, someday, but I don't know when. The first thing is dialing this thing in perfectly, making sure it doesn't break, nothing like that, and being able to fix it when it does, when we're just dealing with one variable, which is our company. In the future, once we know all these variables, know how to do it really well, we will do it. It could be in a few months, it could be in a year, because at the end of the day, I don't want to deliver you something that is going to be low quality or crappy. I want you to know, okay, I'm getting something and it's amazing. So we want to do it right from the very beginning. A final thing to know is, so $100 a month, and the second thing is we're going to give you these applicants at basically our cost. We're going to add 7% to the price of the lead, or price of the applicant. So just for really easy numbers for a second, let's just say the applicant cost $100. All right, I don't even know what it would cost. But let's just say it cost $100. That means that it would be you would get it for $107. All right. If it cost $50, you would get it for $53.50. So very, very basic there, 7%. The reason for that is definitely not to make money there. That's simply to account for the ad variance costs day by day. So day by day, like if you've ever run ads before at any sort of budget, let's say you're running $100 a day, very easily you could spend $105 or $112, right? Very easily. And that's just an ad network thing. That's just one of these ad networks doing its thing, just spending the money, spending a little bit more if it wants to because there's good cost per lead or whatever. So that happens all the time. We want to make sure that that Rebels doesn't have to bear that burden, especially with a huge, huge scale. So we're just kind of making sure that everything is good to go. So it's at cost. We're going to be upfront with all the cost on all this stuff. At cost plus 7%. That's it. And once again, the goal is not to make this a profit center for Rebels up front. It's just to help people get into action faster, reverse that process, get people into growth faster, and then we will reap our rewards there. So if you want to participate, well, first of all, if you found value in this, if this has been exciting to kind of see behind the scenes as to what we're doing, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know this is kind of cool, because I'll make more videos like this, but usually I don't, because it's just I don't know who's interested in stuff like this. So this has been cool for you. Let me know down in the comments below, and maybe I'll keep people updated as to what we're doing on a weekly or maybe even every couple day basis. Secondly, if you want to participate in this, so first of all, we have way more than 50 people that are interested in our downline right now. One of the things that we're thinking about is maybe taking half of them, 25 of them, and 25 new people or something, right? And starting it that way. Don't fully know on that. My main focus now is getting these two things to the point where we can take the 50 because we've got the people. But if you want to be part of that first 50, let us know, and we can potentially, we can have you have that discussion with someone in the organization. So what that would look like is this. First of all, you'd email us. So Zach at ZacharySpear.com. That's ZACH at ZACHARY Spear.com. So Zach at ZacharySpear.com. Email us and put in the title or in the subject lead wheel. All right. My assistant will get it. She'll respond to you and we'll figure it out. But here's what I can guarantee will happen. First thing that will happen is that you will enroll in Rebels Recruiting System / our company. So that's going to cost you total between $1,500 and $2,000. You'll know before you do that if you would be accepted into this first batch of lead wheel people. So no worries there. But you would enroll in the system. So $1,500 to $2,000, somewhere in there. and then you'd be a part of it, and we would have you in that first batch. So that's what that would look like. You would have a conversation if needed. Well, you definitely will need to. We're not going to let anybody into this because bad people. We're going to make this not so fun. So we're going to have the most coolest people a part of that first 50, bar none. So you'll have a conversation with someone on the team, one of our strategists for sure, and I might even jump in and take a few of those. So that being said, if you're interested and you would like to be a part of that first batch, zach@zacharyspirit.com. Once everything is dialed in, we'll do an official launch in who knows when, probably be a couple months from now, and that's cool too. But obviously, those first 50 are going to get that head start. So anyway, I know this is a little bit long. This has been fun for me to kind of explain. It helps me further flesh it out when I explain it. So fun for me. Hopefully, it's fun for you. Like I said, this is cool for you. Leave a comment down below. Let me know this is cool to see kind of inside of what we're doing. And with that, hopefully, have an amazing day. And we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks, guys.